In the beginning, before time began, before anything existed, God created the heavens and the earth. But the earth was formless, empty, and dark. There was no life, no light, only chaos and darkness. But then something incredible happened. On the first day, God spoke and said, "Let there be light." And just like that, light appeared. And it wasn't just any kind of light. It was the light of life, the light of hope, the light of creation. Before this moment, there was only darkness, but now there was light. So God looked at this light and he saw that it was good. And that's how the very first day began. God separated the light from the darkness and called the light day and the darkness night. And so the evening and the morning were the first day. You know when we look up into the night sky filled with stars? Or when we feel the warmth of the sun on our skin during the day? We are reminded of this moment, the moment when God spoke and light came into existence. This moment reminds us that God is the creator, that he has the power to bring order out of chaos, and that he desires for us to live in the light rather than the darkness. But what happened next? On the second day, God continued creating. He didn't just create light. He created space for that light to exist. He created the sky, separating the waters above from the waters below. For a while, the earth was still formless, but now there was an expanse to hold the waters and allow the light to shine through. Then came the third day. The water was still there, but now God gathered the waters so that dry land appeared. And let me tell you, it was an amazing sight. Mountains were raised, valleys were formed, and the seas were established. All of this in just one day. Isn't that incredible? And God didn't stop there. He also made vegetation, green plants, trees, crops, and every kind of fruit. And it was great. The earth was no longer empty. It was covered with life and color and fragrance. Just imagine the smell of freshly cut grass after the rain, or the sweet aroma of blooming flowers. This is the gift of day 3. On the fourth day, God decided to fill the expanse he had made on day 2 with wonders. He created the sun, moon, and stars to give light on the earth. They were like lamps placed in the sky to guide us, to mark seasons, days, and years, to separate day from night. Just think about it. As the sun rises each morning, it's like God is pressing the play button on a new day. And as the moon and stars appear at night, they remind us that even in the darkness, God is with us. And after 4 days of creation, what do you think God did? He took a well-deserved rest. No, not really. He continued creating on the 5th day. This time, he filled the waters with all kinds of fish and the sky with every kind of bird. And God blessed them, telling them to multiply and fill the earth and the skies. Can you imagine the vastness of the oceans teeming with colorful fish and the skies filled with birds of all shapes and sizes, each one a masterpiece of creation? Then came the 6th day, and it was like God had saved the best for last. But before we talk about what happened on this day, I want to ask you something. Are you ready for the greatest creation of all? Now, back to day 6. On this day, God created all kinds of land animals, livestock, wild animals, and creatures that move on the ground. Each animal was unique, perfectly adapted to its environment, and they were all good. And yet, despite all the amazing creations of the previous 5 days, none of it was complete. You see, the earth needed someone special, someone to care for it, to love it, to explore it, someone like you and me. That's why God created man. He created us in his own image, which means that we have the ability to reason, to love, to choose, and most importantly, to connect with God. And God gave us a special task. He placed us in the Garden of Eden, which is like the VIP section of nature, and told us to take care of it, to be responsible for all the animals and plants. We were given the blessing and the responsibility to multiply and fill the earth and subdue it. God trusted us with the earth, the sea, and all living things. But wait, there's more. There was someone else waiting. God created woman, not as an addition or an accessory, but as a partner, someone who would be by man's side, complimenting them, loving them, and together they would build families, communities, and eventually nations. God blessed them, saying, "Be fruitful and multiply, fill the earth and conquer it, rule the fish in the sea, and the birds that fly in the sky, and everything that moves on the ground." Then God said, "It is not good for the man to be alone. I will make a helper fit for him." Then came the seventh day, and guess what happened? God rested from all the work he had done. And he didn't just rest. He blessed the seventh day and made it holy, setting it aside as a special time for rest and reflection. So we went from nothing to everything, from darkness to light, from chaos to order, from emptiness to fullness. And God saw everything he had made and declared it good, very good. Can you imagine the pride, the satisfaction, the joy in God's heart as he looked at his creation? But why was everything good? Why was creation such a success? Because God is good. Everything he did was a reflection of his character, his wisdom, his power, his creativity. He didn't just create things. He created life. And this life was not just an accident. It was a purpose, a plan, a masterpiece. Think about the complexity, the beauty, the diversity of life. From the smallest microorganism to the largest whale, from a single cell to a human brain, everything is interconnected. Everything has a purpose, and everything is valuable. God did not just speak and say, "Let there be." He spoke, and it was. He had a vision, a dream, and he brought it to reality. As we reflect on these 7 days of creation, may we remember that we are part of this incredible story. We are not just here by accident. We are the result of God's plan, his purpose, his love. The earth was formless and empty, but God spoke and it became a place of life and beauty and wonder. And he placed us in this world not just to be caretakers, but to be participants, to appreciate, to enjoy, to explore, to discover, to learn, and most importantly, to worship and praise our Creator. Thank you for watching and joining us on this journey from nothing to life. If you enjoyed this video and want to continue exploring more videos on various topics, please consider subscribing and liking our videos. Your support helps us reach more people with our content. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.